Why, hello there everyone. I'm Laxow, aka the Kumo Sensei. Minasan, ohayo gozaimasu. And today we're going to be feeding our Neoholothele incei. And we're finally feeding these guys after about 2 weeks after rehousing. These specimens are all doing well, and if you're wondering if they're starving, they're not. 2 weeks is not that long of a time, especially for this size, and if their abdomens are of good size, then I wouldn't really worry too much about them not eating for 2 weeks, so let's get straight into it. So the majority of these are approaching the juvenile size, about 1.5 inches in leg span, and they're eating pretty well. This species eats very well actually. So even though they are a dwarf species, maxing around 2 inches, 2.5 inches, and up to 3 inches for adult females, so typically around 5 centimeters to 7.5 to 8 centimeters in leg span, they're actually very capable of taking down prey about the same size as them. So these little guys are not to be underestimated. So before I continue on with this video, I really want to talk about today's Tuesday video. So this video was supposed to be for Friday, so allow me to explain. So I had 3 things to do on my list for this week in my collection. Rehousing some tarantulas, feeding the Neoholothele incei, which you're seeing today, and feeding our Mbaphori juveniles. And today's video was supposed to be the rehousing video, but upon recording it and upon editing it, I was not really happy, nor enjoying, nor satisfied with what I had. But essentially, for those who are wondering, I rehoused 2 of my Pislothera vittatas, the ghost ornamental tarantulas, and I rehoused our now renamed Nemo. And our renamed Nemo has molted, and yes, I've chosen a new name for Nemo. And I actually told everyone to leave a comment down below on one of my videos stating what do you want to rename our female green-bottle blue tarantula, because Nemo was a boy name and our tarantula was a girl. So I asked for some requests, and the one name I liked a lot was Ellie. And this comment here is the comment that won, and the reason why I decided this name and the reason why I liked it is because this name can be used as both a boy and a girl. It's pretty much a universal name. So I really like that, so I decided to name it Ellie. So that is the tarantula's new name, Ellie. But let us get back into this video. So essentially, today's video was supposed to be for Friday, but because of how the rehousing video I recorded wasn't so great, I scrapped it, and now you're seeing this as today's Tuesday video. And the only thing I can do this week that I have to do on my to-do list is feeding my Mbaphori, so I guess that will be for Friday's video. So if you like Mbaphoris, then I guess that one's for you, I guess. It's gonna be a bunch of juveniles though, so who knows how it'll go. So while we're enjoying the feedings of these Neoholothele incei, I really want to talk about you viewers because I'm impressed. Some of you have finally taken that first step into breeding tarantulas, and although you're breeding just your typical curly hairs, red knees, those common hobby staples, I'm very proud of you. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of those big tarantula breeders, although they may congratulate you guys, they're not going to be so nice about it. And really, because they've already proven themselves, so it's really hard to get a good impression on them or to make them impressed of your work, but that comes with time. And honestly, I think if you already produced something, you're already one step there. Now for me, I don't really have big standards, so I get impressed very easily. Too easily at times. Now the others, they're not going to be so friendly. Now although I am an experienced tarantula breeder, I'm not really as aggressive or as stingy as some of the other experienced tarantula breeders. I'm just more impressed of seeing what people can do. And the reason why I'm mentioning this, and the reason why I'm proud of you viewers, is because I've been getting emails now of people sending, pictures, clips of their, first tarantula breeding projects, their first egg sacs and whatnot. And honestly, it's very impressive. And although it's not really a lucrative species in the market, it is one step into becoming an experienced tarantula breeder. And I'm going to say this as well, you don't really need 100 or a lot of spiders at all. You just need to have something going, whether it's one breeding project or 2. As long as you have something going, it's fine. I don't know why a lot of new tarantula breeders try to actually rush the process, because if you're running too fast, you're going to trip. So it's really just best to take it one step at a time. And as for us experienced tarantula breeders, I don't think we should really try to intimidate, incriminate, or discourage the new tarantula breeders. because I don't know, I feel like us experienced tarantula breeders at times tend to toot our own horns, or we tend to boast ourselves a bit too much. So I really try to stray away from that approach. And honestly, sometimes I like to just tell myself that I'm just a typical tarantula hobbyist. And I know that a lot of you may see me as an experienced tarantula breeder, but even still, I prefer just being called a typical hobbyist instead of a tarantula breeder. Just so there really isn't a feeling of like this huge gap between me and an upcoming aspiring tarantula breeder, if you get what I'm saying. But I truly hope that one day somebody will look back on this video when it's just a piece of history and say, yup, I finally made it. Because that will be so impressive. I'll be super impressed if one day a big tarantula breeder by name watches this video and was like, yup, Laxow said it. I took that chance and now I'm here. But let us not talk about the future, because that is something that has yet to be written. But honestly, it starts with you. If you're willing to put in the work, the years, then I think this will be a fun side gig and a fun side hobby. But every single video that you're seeing will be a part of tarantula history. And I really do hope that one day we can actually trace back the lineages of this tarantula hobby, because this tarantula hobby is kind of lost in the void. So allow me to explain a bit so that way it can make more sense. So to put it simply, somebody, then taught somebody else, then taught my instructor, and then taught me. And essentially all those who came before are essentially lost to time, and the only people that are known in this hobby are essentially the greats, such as, you know, your Tom Pattersons, Kelly Swifts, etc. But there is a large gap of tarantula breeders who are never really known in this tarantula's history when it comes to this hobby. So one thing I would like for this hobby is for somebody to actually archive tarantula breeders, those that came before and those that are currently here, because a lot of them are lost in history. Because if you look at the other, you know, exotic pet hobbies, such as ball pythons for example, you can trace back the lineages of who produced the first pinstripe ball python, the first clowns, the first sunsets, etc. But when it comes to tarantulas, there is very few things that can be marked down in history, as in who produced the first of this species in the hobby and whatnot. So, I don't know, maybe somebody will do that in the future. Maybe somebody will mark down mines, but I really just hope that one day something will come up, such as somebody writing down a tarantula encyclopedia of tarantula breeders in history. That'd be cool, but not anytime soon, I don't think. But I guess that's enough for now. And I also want to give a shout out to everyone around the world, because I do get comments from around the world, and some of you do speak Portuguese, and I did practice Portuguese in college, but I'm not really too fluent in it, but let me do what I can remember. Olá, como vai? Mi nome é Laxow. Yeah, my Portuguese is not that great, but I did practice Portuguese though, I promise you that. And I also do get viewers from a lot of other places, such as the EU, the UK, Canada, Korea, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and pretty much everywhere else. But I truly want to thank everybody, and maybe I'll practice and study more languages again, but as of now, I'm just going to be sticking with my 3 to 5 languages. So yeah, without further ado, I'm Laxow, aka the Kumo Sensei. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I upload every single Tuesday and Friday here on the channel. And also support me on my IG and Patreon. And with that, stay lax, and Laxow out from the Kumo Sensei.